Hello everyone. I wanted to go ahead and send you a video since we weren't able to have class today due to the university shutting down. Since that's the case, that is going to put us a day behind, and I don't want us to get too far behind. I told you we had a lot to do on day one, so I'm going to try to cover as much as I can on this video to save us time on Friday. So what I really want to tackle are these first two things here: the syllabus overview and MyMathLab. I'm not going to go over D2L right now. It looks like the system is having some issues, so I'm just going to go over the syllabus overview and the MyMathLab. MyMathLab is where we're going to be doing most of your homework. Some of you are probably familiar with that. I'll show you that in just a second. In terms of the syllabus, let me pull up a copy of it. Sorry, I should have done this prior. So the syllabus looks something like this. I'm going to attach this in the email that this video is in. I just want to go over a couple of things here. First off, there are two things that you need to have: the book and then the MTSU Math 1530 student workbook. Again, this workbook is only available at the on-campus bookstore. I know that I said that in a previous email, but I want to remind you of that. In terms of the book itself, there's a couple of options for you. You can either buy the book at the bookstore and it will come with access to mymathlab.com, or you can just gain access to mymathlab.com and there's a virtual copy of the book. And when I refer to the book, I'm talking about this, the one by Sullivan, there. So in terms of you having a hard copy, I will not require that. We will never pull the book out during class. So gotta have this. Again, that's only available at the on-campus bookstore. It's $4, and then you need to gain access to mymathlab.com. Whether or not you have the hard copy of the book is up to you. Excuse me, guys, I have a cold. You will need this access code here. For those of you that are in the 8:30 class, this is your access code. For those of you that are in the 10 o'clock class, your access code is different. I will show it to you in just a second. Also, you will need a graphing calculator. I prefer the TI-83 or 84, or you can buy the plus versions of those. But you need to get that ASAP. In terms of attendance and makeups, I expect you to be there every day. I expect you to be on time. A lot of this class is going to be interactive. You're going to be having conversations with your classmates, so please be prompt and be prepared to stay the entire time. We will be utilizing our entire class. Homework. If the homework is opened to certain dates, you'll see that on MyMathLab in just a second. If homework is opened late, there will be a 10% penalty per day. And that's for any reason. So keep that in mind when you're trying to stay up to date on your homework. And I'll show you where all that is in just a second. I'll let you read over all of this. I do want to highlight this part. If you do not take the final exam, you do not pass the course. That's a departmental policy, so keep that in mind. You have to take the final. Additionally, there are 4 exams that will make up 65% of your grade. Participation in homework, that's going to be computed with the MyMathLab homework. D2L and participation in class discussions, that's 15%, and then your final exam is 20% of your grade. Other than that, there's not much else on here. If you want to drop, you cannot just drop on Pipeline because it is a K-version course. You do have to go to Pet Call 202 and talk to Dr. Lucas about dropping the course. If you are considering dropping the course, please let me know first so we can talk about where you're at and what we can do. Because I'd love, I want you to take this course one time and be done with it. If you're on lottery scholarship, by all means read this. And then if you're registered with DAC or you plan to register with DAC, please let me know as soon as possible. Okay, so back to MyMathLab. So to get to this website, there's a couple of ways. You can type in coursecompass.com and it will take you to this same website that we're seeing. Or you can type in mymathlab.com. and it will take you again to the same page. The first thing you need to do is to register for the course. So this is true for anyone, whether or not you're familiar with MyMathLab or not. So you'll have to hit register now as a student, and it's going to say you need your email. Make sure you use your MTSU email. You're going to need your course ID, which I will show to you in just a second, and then you need an access code or a credit card. So if you buy the book at the bookstore, it will come with an access code. If you want to buy access directly off this website, you can do that as well. That is up to you. In either case, hit OK to register. The first thing it's going to ask you for is the course ID. Now, all of them will start with my last name, Duncan, and then the course ID for your course depends on which one you're in. So if you're in the 830 class, oops, that's not it. Sorry. If you're in the 830 class, let me pull up your syllabus again. So the 830 course is Duncan 27117. I'm just going to copy that. If you're in the 10 o'clock class, your access code is Duncan 11839. Please do not mix those up. It is not fun to try to get you switched in a different course. So I'm going to send you the correct syllabus with you. So refer to the syllabus that's attached in the email and make sure you get the correct course ID. Now I'm going to enter in the course ID for the 830 class. Again, if you're in the 10 o'clock class, please do not enter that one in. I'm just giving you one of them so you can see what it looks like. So make sure your course is the one over here. So if you're in the 830, it should say Math 1530-1. If you're in the 10 o'clock, it should say Math 1530-2. From there, some of you that are familiar with MyMathLab that have an account can enter in your information here. This is especially important for any of you that are retaking the course, because if you're retaking the course, you don't have to buy a new access code. So you'll need to remember that or find it by doing forget your username or somehow. For the rest of you, you may need to create a Pearson account, and it's basically just going to ask you for your name, your email, and things like that. Now, once you get registered for the course, I want to show you what our class looks like. So from here on out, you'll just sign in, and so you will have created all this already. And then you'll come here, and I think yours looks a little bit different than mine does over here. So, excuse me, the 830 class and the 10 o'clock class are set up basically the same. So I'm just going to go into the 830 one. Yours won't have all of these. You'll just have your class. Excuse me. So again, if yours looks a little bit different, just click to go into the course, and it should look something like this. So I just want to go over a couple of things here. First off, we'll just go down these tabs. So files for the course, this is where your reviews are. Again, you won't have all of this. You'll only have document sharing. And this is where a copy of your calendar and your syllabus are located, as well as reviews for each exam as well as the final exam. So you can click in those when you need those. The second thing, click on me for videos on individual sections. These are just videos over specific topics, or excuse me, specific sections. Notice that these are not the same as the D2L videos, because you will have to watch some videos on D2L. These videos are not required. These are just an additional resource for you. I'm going to come back to homework in just a second, because that's where you're going to do all your homework. Quizzes and tests, again, this is just for practice. Homework help, these are written out problems or problem solutions for different problems that we know that students have struggled with in the past. I don't know why that's not coming up, but you should see those here when you click on that. Study plan, again, this is just for additional practice. This is just like homework and quizzes. You can go in here and practice on different sections or chapters, so you can click through that. Gradebook, again, I'll load your tests and things in here so you can see where you are at. Again, this is unofficial. Virtual copy of the book, I told you there was a virtual copy of the book on this website. So you can just click on virtual copy and then click on a chapter and a section, and then you can click on, I think it says, well, I don't remember what it says, but there's, again, sorry, I don't know why this is not loading, but there should be something here where you can click on it and it will pull the pages of the book up for you. I think that's basically it here, except for the homework. So the homework is, like I said, you're going to be doing this on a daily basis. So you'll see the due dates here for all of the homework sections. So this is all of our homework that's open up to you right now. And I believe all the homework that you're seeing there is all of the homework sections for your first exam. Now, we'll talk more about this, but don't get too overwhelmed. Not all of this is going to be tested on your first exam. For those of you that are unfamiliar with MyMathLab, again, I have this set up to where you can work each problem as many times as you want, but your goal is to get all of the questions correct. If for some reason you answer a question incorrectly 3 times, then you can still answer that question again by hitting similar exercise. Now, if the question is multiple choice like this one is, you do not get 3 attempts, you actually only get 2. So here in this one, determine the level of measurement of the variable states in a region. I'm going to choose an incorrect answer, and you'll notice that it gave you a little help tool, and then excuse me, after you answer it wrong 2 times on a multiple choice question, it will mark it incorrectly. However, you'll notice this button at the bottom that says similar exercise, and it will give us a new problem. So determine the level of measurement for the variable favorite sport. This one should be nominal, and you'll notice that it says correct, and it's going to change that X to a check mark. And you can do that on all of your problems, again, up until the due date, so keep that in mind. I know most of you are probably familiar or at least have seen MyMathLab at some point, but you can do that on any of the problems up to the due date. So keep these due dates in mind. Notice that I have a lot of due dates set for the 27th. Now, we may need to adjust some of those because of us not meeting today. But chapter 1, which is sections 1 through 1-6, are not that heavy. So they're mostly terminology, and you're getting accustomed to some of the wording that's going to be used. So that's the majority of those. And then the rest of them, again, not too heavy either. So I have those for the 27th. We'll see how that goes. What was I going to say? I don't remember. So, again, that's just kind of an overview of MyMathLab. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Homework is always due the class day that I see you next at midnight. Now, that doesn't apply to the first few sections because some of you need to get registered for MathLab and things like that. So, but after we get going, that will take into effect. So, if we cover a topic, it will be due the next class period at midnight. So if you look at these 2 sections here, 3.2 and 3.3, they are due on the 27th, which is the 29th, which is next Friday, which means that we will have covered 3.2 and 3.3 on the 27th, which means they're due the next time I see you, the next day I see you at midnight, so the 29th. Excuse me. Again, that doesn't apply to the first few sections because of you getting registered and it being new and all that. So I kind of give you a little bit of extra time there, but just FYI. Okay, so I think that's a good overview of MyMathLab. If you have any questions or anything about that, by all means let me know. Again, to register on MathLab, make sure you use the course ID that is in the syllabus that I emailed to you because I don't want you to type in the wrong one. We're going to talk a little bit more about some other things when I see you hopefully on Friday. We're going to talk about D2L. We're going to talk about your schedule. So if you got your, If you got your course outline, which I also emailed to you, I hope that you print this off. I will not have a copy of this on Friday, but please print this off. We're going to need this. You're going to need this to kind of keep track of what you're expected to do. All right, guys. So again, I hope that helps. If you have any questions or anything, by all means, let me know. Other than that, I hope to see you Friday. Again, sorry for the nasally, my nasally voice through here. Hopefully, I'll feel a little bit better Friday, and I hope to see you then. Have a good day.